Hello and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer this morning, Logan Landers, and joining me to talk about Trevor Lawrence and if he's going to be an impact player for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the upcoming 2021 season is my right-hand man, Mr. 901, Mr. Football, the football encyclopedia, Vincent Turner. How you doing this morning, Vincent?
Hey, how you doing, Logan Landers? A very, very good morning here on 100 Yards Football here in the Metro Atlanta area.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a great topic talking about Trevor Lawrence, the number one pick that everyone saw at the NFL draft the other week. We're going to talk about if he's going to be an impact player for these Jags for the near future. So, hey, if you guys are going to enjoy this video, please be sure to like, comment, and share. Go follow us on YouTube page, on our social medias with our Instagram. And go check out our podcast as well. Thanks to the Believe Podcast Network. We're doing some great work over there for around 6 to 8 months now. We've been doing a lot of work over there. We appreciate all the downloads, all the love, and all the support. So, Vincent, I'm going to get right into this one, man. What do you think about Trevor Lawrence, and do you think he's going to make a splash for the Jacksonville Jaguars for this upcoming season?
The first thing about Trevor Lawrence, I'm going to say this is a very mature young man. He's answered all the questions that's been thrown at him from high school to college to now the NFL. The one thing I like about him is that I saw this young man play, as a 10th grader with Cartersville High School when it was the old, not the Mercedes-Benz Dome, but the Georgia Dome. And his team won that football game 10-7. But the one thing I liked about him was that his poise and his ability to will his team to victory like all the great ones do, the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers. And when you look at him, he's a guy that only lost 2 games in high school, won back-to-back state championships. But really, why I'm comfortable with Trevor Lawrence than any other draft pick that's came in this draft, as a true freshman, transitioning from high school to college. He went into a situation on the very talented football team, the Clemson Tigers, in 2018. And he went into the national championship game against a red-hot Alabama team. They had Mr. Tua, and they had 10 players on the defensive side of the ball that last year started in the National Football League. Listen to what I'm saying, Logan. Started. Terrell Lewis, Mac Wilson, Anthony Jennings, Patrick Surtain, he's going to be starting here in a few weeks. Trevon Diggs, Quentin Williams, Delonte Thompson, Raquan Davis. And you know what that young man did? At 19 years old, 20 of 32, 347, 3 touchdowns. The following year, he got his team to the national championship game against arguably the greatest team in college football, the 2019 LSU Tigers. And then going into his junior year, he faced a lot of, bumps in the roads. He came down with the COVID-19, set out a couple of games, but he was able to still come back and play at a high level in the ACC championship game against Notre Dame. I think this young man is going to be a guy that's going to make a tremendous impact. I'm not saying the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to make the playoffs this season, but I tell you this, they're going to be right there knocking at the boards and knocking at the door of the playoffs this year. They got a great coach in Urban Meyer. Like him or not, the guy's won at every level. Bowling Green, Utah. He's won national championships at 2 really highly respected programs, Florida and Ohio State. He's put together an outstanding coaching staff. The offensive coordinator, Darrell Bevel, was in Seattle from 2011 to 2017. And you know what? He found a guy that nobody even had rated as a first-round draft pick in 2012. And that guy now is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think his name is Russell Wilson. So this is a young man that's going to be working with Trevor Lawrence. And then look at what Jacksonville has done over the offseason. DJ Chalk is one of the upcoming young receivers in this game. But they went out and got Marvin Jones, who's a quality veteran with the Detroit Lions, that's going to come over. Then they end up drafting, I think, the best pick why Trevor Lawrence is going to have success going into his first year. They got his buddy Travis Etienne, who arguably could have been the best back in the game. And when you look at the overall landscape of the offense, Trevor Lawrence is going to have pieces to work with. Then he's got 2 tackles. He's got Cam Robinson out of the University of Alabama that's starting to play a little better. DeJuan Taylor that played right down the road with the Florida Gators. But most of all is that they brought in Carlos Hyatt, a very quality, very veteran football player at the running back position. So he's got all these pieces. He's got Darren Bevel, who's a very excellent offensive coordinator, an offensive coach, a head coach that's won at every level. I think he's going to make the transition over to the NFL, such as one guy who did coming out of the University of Miami back in 1987 by the name of Jimmy Johnson. And we know how that happened. He won back-to-back Super Bowl championships with the Dallas Cowboys. I just love the situation down there in Jacksonville. And I think they got arguably the best player in the draft. Arguably, maybe, if you want to talk about generational talents, everything about this young man resonates. Victory, success, commitment, and the Jaguars are going to be one of the surprise teams in the NFL this season under this young man. Yes, Trevor Lawrence is going to make a major impact this season.
Hey, I can't disagree with you one bit on that, Vincent. Everyone knew the Jaguars were going to pick this young man. And like you said, you just mentioned his pedigree throughout high school as well as college at Clemson. And he has every single tool you want in a good quarterback. And I think that Jacksonville, all the fans out there, are really going to enjoy watching this young man tear it up behind center for many years to come. And like I'm with you, Vince, I was a little bit shocked, actually, that they went with Travis Etienne with their other first-round pick. I thought they might have stuck with James Robinson since he had a breakout year last year. But I guess they weren't fully behind the young man. They might go to a two-back system, have them split some carries, which that could be lethal. If you pair both of those two gentlemen, if Robinson can continue his success from last year, if Etienne can, he's the all-time ACC rushing record champ. So if you compare those two up with Trevor Lawrence, who's been a proven winner, like you said, that could be a dangerous play-action combo, and they could have a lot of fun sets with those guys in the backfield. And like you said, they had a lot of good additions, too, in the offseason. They helped out the wide receiving core. For the draft, they mostly went with some defense. They got a little bit of offense in the later rounds, but they got a lot of good pieces. I think they had a really good draft overall, and I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to have a lot of good reason to be thrown to all these guys because he's going to be protective at the offensive line. They helped out there. He's got a lot of good talent around him, and I think, like you said, I don't expect them to be on a trailblazing run to run roughshod through everybody, but don't be surprised if they're pushing on that playoff door and if they might kick it down. That wouldn't surprise me at all if Trevor Lawrence can come out and ball out and maybe get that Rookie of the Year. We'll have to see. But I like the pick by the Jaguars. I know all the fans are excited. They got a brand new backfield. The boys are back in town with him and Etienne at the backfield. So I'm excited to see how that pair is going to translate to the NFL. Like you mentioned, with Urban Meyer being the brand new head coach, that's going to be a lot of fun to see how he does once again in the NFL. We'll have to see. But I'm looking forward to this team, and I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to have a tremendous impact. It wouldn't surprise me one bit, Vincent, if he wins Rookie of the Year. It really wouldn't. I do think he's got all the talent. I can see him throwing for 3,000, 4,000 yards easily as long as he stays healthy. And we all hope here on the show that he does, and he has a tremendous, tremendous rookie season. So, Vincent, give me your final thoughts on Trevor Lawrence this morning.
The one thing I like about Trevor Lawrence is all the great football players to play at a high level in the National Football League. I mean, going a step further, to play at a Hall of Fame level. When you look at this young man, he's done everything right. Transitioning from high school, winning the state championship there, coming to Clemson, earning the respect of that 2018 team that had some great football players on their team. Christian Wilkins, Clinton Farrell, Dexter Lawrence, Trayvon Mullen. To earn the respect of those players, that's saying something special. And then this last 2 years, the one thing that sticks out of my mind about Trevor Lawrence, and getting back to my original point, to be a Hall of Fame player, to be the best player on your team, now you go in the National Football League, you got to be the hardest worker. Trevor Lawrence, there's no question in my mind, was the hardest worker on the football team. And that means lead by example. So when you look at Trevor Lawrence, you better watch out the National Football League because he's coming into the football league to be the general at a high level. We're looking at World War One. We're looking at World War II. We're looking at World War III. Trevor Lawrence is going to be a brigadier general at the next level. I got a lot of love and respect for these young men. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, I guarantee you, are going to be an improved football team under Urban Meyer.
No doubt in my mind, Vince. I think the Jaguars are going to have a good season. You don't have to worry about picking number 1 overall next year. I think all those days might be behind you now. I think y'all are just going to be going on the up and up. You have a very talented roster, a very, very talented quarterback and a running back now combo. And they had a good draft overall. They helped out their defense too. So I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to have a tremendous year this season. I like a lot about this kid. And I think he's going to tear it up for the Jaguars for many years to come. And I could see them making the playoffs in the next year or so. You never know. As long as all those pieces start clicking together, they might get on a magical run. We'll have to see, have a 2017 type of run. But hey, I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to have a good career. And I'm ready to see him get on the field in the NFL now. Hopefully it's going to translate well. And we're looking forward to here on the show. Well, if you guys have enjoyed this video here today, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Let all your friends know what we're doing over here, talking a bunch of football. Also, be sure to go check out our podcast as well, thanks to the Believe Podcast Network. Just go on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, iTunes, anywhere you listen to your podcast, we are available. Just type in 100 Yards of Football. You see our logo right there on the 50-yard line. There's our logo on Spotify, and then over on Apple Podcasts, you can check us out over there as well. We upload podcasts every single day, so there's always something for you guys to listen to. We upload short 15, usually about 15 to an hour-long episodes, just depends on the topic. And we have a lot of really good stuff over there, old draft previews that we've done, see if we got the guys right where they got drafted. Our old game previews, see if we got the scores right for Super Bowls and really big games. Also, go check out our amazing Legends interviews hosted by Bobby Butler, man. He's got a lot of really talented people coming on the show, talking about their careers in football, even outside of football. We have a lot of great stuff over there as well. Well, hey, for my guy, Mr. Football, Vincent Turner, thank you so much for coming on the show talking about Trevor Lawrence, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on here talking football with you. I've been your producer this morning, Logan Landers. Stay tuned because we got some more great content right here on 100 Yards of Football. Stay